What if I told you that Zora Neale Hurston, a prominent figure in the Harlem Renaissance, had a life interwoven with the veil of the supernatural? Yes, that's right. The same Zora Neale Hurston who carved her name in history as an anthropologist, writer, and a key cog in the Harlem Renaissance wheel. An influential African-American woman who used her pen to sketch out the experiences of her people, but also had a deep-seated connection with the otherworldly. Hurston's life was not just about documenting African-American folklore and culture, or about creating groundbreaking literary works. It was also intertwined with mysteries and elements that go beyond the ordinary understanding, adding a layer of intrigue to her persona. As we embark on this journey, we'll peel back the layers of Hurston's life, unearthing the details that cast her in a new, fascinating light. So let's delve into the life of Zora Neale Hurston, unraveling the mysterious elements that define her legacy. Born in Alabama in 1891, Hurston grew up in an environment ripe with folklore and superstitions. Zora Neale Hurston's early life was rooted in Eatonville, Florida, one of the first self-governing all-black municipalities in the United States. This unique setting, rich with African-American culture and traditions, played a pivotal role in shaping the vibrant tapestry of her life and works. Eatonville was a place where stories, myths, and legends thrived, passed down through generations and embroidered into the very fabric of daily life. It was a place where the supernatural was not just a distant concept, but an integral part of the community's cultural heritage. As a young girl, Hurston was exposed to a wealth of these tales, brimming with spirits, hauntings, and otherworldly phenomena. She listened to stories told by the townsfolk, tales whispered under the cover of darkness, and legends that danced on the tongues of the elders. These narratives, filled with the supernatural, were not mere entertainment, but were seen as a bridge to the past, a link to ancestral wisdom, and a way to understand the world. Among these supernatural encounters, Hurston often spoke of the hags, nocturnal creatures from African-American folklore that would sit on the chests of their victims as they slept, causing nightmares and breathlessness. She would also recount tales of conjure women who could manipulate fate and destiny, stories that later found their way into her literary works. These early encounters with the supernatural were not just limited to folklore. Hurston's mother, a devoutly religious woman, often shared biblical stories filled with miracles, divine interventions, and prophecies. These biblical narratives, with their supernatural elements, further deepened Hurston's fascination with the mystical and unseen. In this hotbed of cultural folklore, Hurston developed a deep-seated appreciation for the supernatural, an interest that would later manifest in her works as an anthropologist and writer. She was not just a passive listener to these tales. She was a curious observer, a keen chronicler, and an active participant in the rich tapestry of folklore that surrounded her. These early experiences, no doubt, left a profound impression on young Hurston, shaping her future interests and works. Hurston's fascination with the supernatural found its way into her academic pursuits. As a scholar, she delved into the study of anthropology, a field that allowed her to explore cultural practices and beliefs around the world. Her curiosity led her to the Caribbean and the American South, where she immersed herself in communities steeped in folklore and supernatural traditions. In the Caribbean, Hurston documented an array of practices, from divination rituals to the preparation of potions, that were grounded in the belief of a realm beyond the physical. She was not just an observer, but an active participant, engaging in rituals to understand the essence of the practices she was studying. Her fieldwork extended to the American South, where she collected tales of hauntings, hoodoo practices, and other supernatural occurrences. Hurston's anthropological work was unique. Her approach was not to just study these cultures from a distance, but to become an integral part of them. By participating in the rituals and practices, she gained an insider's perspective, something that was rare in anthropology at the time. This allowed her to capture the nuances of the cultures she was studying, painting a vivid picture of their beliefs and practices. She documented these experiences in her academic work, creating a rich tapestry of cultural practices and beliefs that were steeped in the supernatural. Her accounts of voodoo practices, divination rituals, and ghostly tales brought to light the rich folklore and supernatural traditions of these communities. Her work, however, was not without controversy. Critics questioned her methods, arguing that her involvement in the rituals she was studying blurred the lines between observer and participant. Despite the criticism, Hurston remained undeterred. She believed that to truly understand a culture, one had to experience it firsthand. This belief, coupled with her fascination with the supernatural, shaped her approach to anthropology, resulting in a body of work that continues to be influential today. Her academic work, teeming with accounts of voodoo practices and supernatural beliefs, blurred the lines between observer and participant. Hurston's literary works are a reflection of her lifelong fascination with the supernatural. She wove threads of the otherworldly into the fabric of her narratives, an artful tapestry of the real and the ethereal. This is particularly evident in her novel, Their Eyes Were Watching God. The protagonist, Janie, experiences a range of extraordinary happenings, from prophetic dreams to chilling encounters with death. These instances, while not explicitly supernatural, are imbued with a sense of the uncanny, a testament to Hurston's skill in infusing her works with an undercurrent of the mystical. However, it's in her collection of folklore, Mules and Men, where Hurston's fascination with the supernatural truly shines. This book is a compendium of African American folklore gathered during her anthropological fieldwork. In it, we find tales of conjure, hoodoo, and other supernatural practices deeply rooted in African American culture. These stories are not mere fiction, they're a reflection of the beliefs and practices Hurston encountered in her research, and perhaps in her personal life. She presents them not as whimsical fairy tales, but as a part of the lived reality of the people she studied. This approach lends a certain authenticity to her works, a genuineness that draws the reader into her world of the supernatural. In Mules and Men, she writes, folklore is not as easy to collect as it sounds. The best source is where there are the least outside influences, and these people, being usually underprivileged, are the shyest. The Negro, in spite of his open-faced laughter, his seeming acquiescence, is particularly evasive. The Negro offers a feather-bed resistance. That is, we let the probe enter, but it never comes out. In Hurston's works, we see an amalgamation of her anthropological observations and her personal encounters with the supernatural. Through her writings, she invites us to peer into the mystical realm that she so fervently explored, offering us a glimpse into the extraordinary woven into the fabric of everyday life. Even after her death in 1960, Hurston's connection with the supernatural continues to intrigue scholars and readers alike. The legacy of Zora Neale Hurston, renowned writer and anthropologist, is as layered as the narratives she spun, teeming with elements of the uncanny and the spectral. Throughout her life, Hurston navigated a world where the tangible and the supernatural intermingled. Her works, filled with folklore and mysticism, mirror this. They are a testament to her belief that the seen and unseen realms are not separate, but intertwined. Even today, her writings continue to captivate, drawing us into a world where reality is laced with the supernatural. Posthumously, Hurston has received recognition she was largely denied during her lifetime. Her works have been rediscovered, celebrated for their vivid portrayal of African American culture, their exploration of women's experiences, and their haunting supernatural elements. This rediscovery has led to a renewed appreciation for Hurston's unique perspective, making her an enduring figure in American literature and anthropology. But the mystery surrounding Hurston extends beyond her writings. Her final resting place was an unmarked grave, a fact that only fuels speculation about her connection with the otherworldly. It was not until more than a decade after her death that fellow author Alice Walker located the grave and marked it, cementing Hurston's place not just in the literary world, but in the physical one as well. Even in death, Hurston continues to provoke intrigue and speculation. Legends swirl around her life and her works, painting a picture of a woman deeply connected with the supernatural. These stories, whether fact or fiction, contribute to the enigmatic aura that surrounds Hurston, making her as much a character of intrigue as those that populate her stories. Zora Neale Hurston, the woman, the scholar, the writer, remains an enigma. Her life is fascinating as the tales she told. In the life and works of Zora Neale Hurston, we find an unusual blend of the real and the supernatural. We've journeyed through her early life, where strange encounters sparked her fascination with the paranormal. We've explored her career as an anthropologist, a path that further fed her fascination with folklore and the spectral realm. We've delved into her writings, discovering a unique narrative voice that masterfully weaves the supernatural into the everyday. We've examined her legacy, a testament to her enduring influence on African American literature and anthropology. All along, we've grappled with the enigma that is Zora Neale Hurston, a woman whose life was as intriguing and mysterious as the tales she penned. The haunting of Zora Neale Hurston continues to challenge our perception of reality, urging us to delve deeper into the realm of the supernatural. Her story, like the ghosts she wrote about, lingers, sparking curiosity, inspiring exploration, and forever reminding us of the magic that lies just beyond the veil of the known world.